السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين. So here we are with our session number 264 for Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are going to learn misal, which is one of our fail with a weak letter. And let's learn it together. When I show you a fail and the different types of fail based on the root letter, which fail is going to be called misal? Can somebody remind me? What does a fail have to be called misal? Weak letter, first letter should be weak, right? The faul kalima must be a weak letter for a fail to be called misal, right? Which kalima has to be weak letter? Faul kalima has to be a weak letter for a fail to be called misal. How many types of misal are going to be there? There are going to be two types based on the two weak letters that can be the root letter, because in Arabic, there are three weak letters: alif, waw, ya, but alif can never be a root letter. So when it comes to classification pertaining to any fail that is weak, you only will have misal wawi or yai, because alif is never going to be, it can never be misal alif, right? It's not going to be a possibility, because alif is not a weak is not a is can never be a root letter. It can be a weak letter, but it's never going to be a root letter. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. So misal is going to be of two type. When you look at this word misal, what does it remind you of? What just how do you use it in your language? What can be the meaning for that? Any guesses? Can anyone make any guess? Misal. Example. Very good job. The question is, what can be the meaning of misal, literal meaning of misal? When you look at the word, what comes to your mind in regards to the literal meaning of the word, right? In Urdu, like in Urdu or in whatever language you speak, or yeah, sample or example or like, right? Something that is like something, right? So, misal, resemblance, when you compare something to something, you are resembling it, right? You are finding the similarities between the two things. When you give an example, what are you doing, right? You give an example and you try to, equate one thing to another thing, right? You try to find similarities, right? Between the two entities, or to objects, or to places, so on and so forth, right? So misal drives its name because from the fact that its conjugation is more or less similar to that of a sound fail. Okay, so you will find it's going to conjugate for the most part just like a sound fail. Okay, why is misal called misal? Because it's going to conjugate for the most part like a normal fail. You will not find many differences between misal and a regular fail that is sahi. Okay, it is going to conjugate for the most part like a sound fail. Is this clear to all of you, inshallah? I hope you are with me on that. Okay. So when it comes to the two types of misal, as I mentioned, it can be misal wawi and misal yai. It can come from different clans. It can come from daraba, samia, fataha, hasiba, karuma. Okay. Everyone with me? That misal, you will notice that this can come from the five clans, right? From the five clans, and this should be pretty straightforward. Other than Nasara, you are finding that misal can be from any of the five abwab of Asulasi al Mujarrad. I hope this point is clear to each and every one of you, that your misal wawi and misal ya'i can come from all the five abwab of as-sulasi al-mujarrad except for nasara. When you were learning about your um, when you're learning about your ajwaf, what did I tell you? That Ajwaf is going to be mostly coming from which clans? It is going to be Nasara, Daraba, Samia, right? Nasara, Daraba, Samia, and there is one set of root letter that also comes from Karuma. When I taught you Mudaf, I taught you based mainly, I gave you only examples from Bab Nasara, Samia, Daraba, right? Those were the only three clans that we discussed together in the class, if you remember your Mudaf, right? But when it comes to Misal Wawi or Misal as a whole, you will notice that this can come from the five clans. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, most of the af'al that are misal wawi, they are going to come from the Daraba clan. Some come from Samia and Fataha, and also comes from the rest of the Karuma and Hasiba, as I mentioned. But what will be the most common bab of as-sulasi al-mujarrad? In case of misal, you are going to answer that Daraba is the most common clan. Okay, that Daraba is the most common clan. It's most popular clan for misal. Okay, then these are few examples. When you have the misal wawi, wa'ada ya'idu, wajila yaujalu, wada'a yada'u from bab fataha. From Bab Hasiba, you have Warima Yarimu. From Bab Karuma, you have Wasuma Yosumu. This has to be Dhamma, okay? This is Yosumu, okay? Because Bab Karuma has Dhamma on Ainul Kalima. Do you remember that? Alhamdulillah. So, when it comes to misal yai, some of the examples I have, with meanings, I have added to the slides so that it is easy for you to refer to the notes and everything. So, it is going to be again Daraba, Yamana, Yaiminu, Yamnan from Bab Daraba, from Bab Sami'a, Yabisa, Yaibasu, from Bab Fataha, Yafaha, Yaifahu, Yafkhan, from Bab Karuma, you can have Yamana, Yaimunu. From Bab Hasiba, you can have Yabisa, Yaibisu. Okay? Is this clear? Alhamdulillah. So these are just few examples, right? That you're going to find. Okay? Now the real part is coming. Okay? The real part is still to come. Okay? When it comes to Elal, you have learned that Elal is the change that a weak letter undergoes, right? When a weak letter it changes its forms, the process or the method of the weak letter changing into another weak letter, or a weak letter losing its haraka, or the dropping of the weak letter, all Elal has to do with the weak letters. You all remember that? And you have covered all four types of Elal with me, right? Elal bil qalb, إعلال بالحذف إعلال بالتسكين إعلال بالتسكين والنقل حركته إلى ما قبله. Okay, so let's just ما قبله, yeah, that's the correct one. Okay, now what is most important when it comes to misal? In misal, let me show you a table, and then we can apply different rules on the misal. Okay, so look at this table from Asulasi al Mujarrad Bab Daraba Wa'ada. Wa'ada are your set of root letters Waw, Ain, Dal. Are you seeing any change in word Wa'ada? There is no change. So do you think that this is just like your regular fail madin? It's appears to be just similar to your regular fail madin, right? Your regular fail madin is in here, wa'ada, no change. That's why it is what is it? That is where it is deriving its name from. That it conjugates pretty much the same as a regular fail madin, as daraba wa'ada. Now come to fail mudari. What are we seeing here? Wa'ada ya'idu. There is a hasf. Very good job. There is ilal bil hasf, right? So the rule number one, that we are going to focus on when it comes to misal is going to be ilal bil hasf, right? The waw got omitted. The waw got omitted. You all can see that. Yaidu, yarimu, yada'u. It is yada'u, right? And yahabu. What is happening? The foul kalima is lost. So when you have omission of a weak letter, what is the name given to the type of elal? The elal that involves omission of a weak letter or dropping of the weak letter is called elal bil hasf. So in the very first rule in misal is going to be hasf. Okay, elal bil hasf, because right after your past tense you have your present tense, and in fail mudari you are noticing that wow is not there anymore. So this rule has to do with the wow. When the wow is present between alamatul mudari and ainul kalima, that is maksura, do you know what happens to your wow? It gets omitted. It gets omitted. Is this clear to all of you? When waw is present between alamatul mudari and ainul kalima, that is maksura, meaning it is a letter that has a kasra, your waw is going to get omitted. So can somebody remind me what are the two abwab in which ainul kalima is maksura, or it's mukassar or written with a kasra? Very good job. It is daraba and hasiba, not samia. Samia does not have a kasra on ainul kalima in mudare. Remember, we are focusing on fail mudare here, right? We are going to focus on fail mudare, and the only two abwab where ain has a kasra is bab daraba and bab hasiba. Type 1 if you have understood this, and if you remember and you have refreshed your memory about your asulasi al mujarrad, right? In only two abwab you find your fail mudare has ainul kalima that is written with a kasra. Okay, that is bab daraba and hasiba. Okay, daraba yadribu, hasiba yahsibu. So if your misal wawi is from daraba and hasiba clan, what will happen to waw? It is going to get dropped, right? Anytime your misal wawi comes from daraba or hasiba, you will not find your waw there. The waw that is present between alamatul mudari and ainul kalima that is written with a kasra, the waw has to go. So here, original form was idu. Why does it get omitted? This can be a test question. Why are you seeing omission of waw? The answer is going to be written by you. You are going to say that anytime your waw is present between alamatul mudare and ainul kalima that has a kasra, waw has to go away. Okay, it does not like it. It gets, they're not compatible, as Sister Rabia is saying. Is this clear to all of you? Why you are not seeing yo rimu, you are seeing yarimu? What is the reason for that? Because your waw is present between alamatul mudari and ainul kalima that was written with a kasra. Therefore, your waw has to go away. Everyone with me so far? Rule number 1 is clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah. So far, you are with me. The second point is that's very interesting, where most of the people have problems. If your ainul kalima is from harufe halqiya, yes, this harufe halqiya rule is very, very important. If your ainul kalima is from harufil halqiya or lamul kalima is from harufe halqiya, there is an omission of waw. There will be an omission of waw even when ainul kalima is maftuha, is written with fatha. Has a fatha. It should be has. Is this clear? Is this second rule clear to all of you? What are harufe halqiya? Who can remind me of harufe halqiya? Your Hamza, right? Harufe halqiya. Your Hamza, ha, ainul, ha, ghainul, kha, right? Everyone? Anytime you find your second letter, which is from harufe halqiya, or your third letter is from harufe halqiya, what are you going to find? That waw gets omitted. Okay? Everyone got it? Now, one of my teacher was very kind. So before I tell you what he taught me, let me ask you a question. Which bab of as-sulasi al-mujarrad is known or is special or is exclusive to have harufi halkiya? Has lot of harufi halkiya, and you have that found that in my search sessions when I was teaching you. Not samia, it is fataha. Remember the special feature of fataha is that second letter or third letter can be from harufi halkiya. Most of those words that are from bab fataha will have second letter or third letter from harufi halkiya. Okay, there can be words where their second, and these are the words and in from these abwab can have second letter or third letter from harufi halkiya. Okay, so which bab? It is fataha. It is fataha that is that is known to have lot of harufi halkiya as either ainul kalima or lamul kalima. Okay, is this clear to each and every one of you? You got it? So now I one of my teacher, he said, if misal wawi, these three is from these three clans, wow gets omitted. So which are these three clans? Bab daraba, Bab hasiba, Bab fataha. Clear to all of you? So he just made it simple and easy, pretty much, that, if he says that, if your misal is coming from daraba, hasiba, or fataha, waw is going to get omitted. Does it make things little easy? Little easy, right? So just, and there may be, remember always, there is there are always going to be a lot of exceptions too. Okay, there is always remember that there is a lot of room for exceptions. Okay, so but for the most part, if your misal wawi comes from daraba, hasiba, fataha, what will happen to waw in mudare? Waw is going to get omitted. Okay, so some books you will find in there that waw gets omitted in these af'al, daraba, hasiba, fataha. Waw does not get omitted in samia. Okay, waw does not get omitted in samia. And there is a word in Quran. There's a set of root letters waw, zal, ra, where you will find there is a dropping of the waw, though the word is not from daraba, the word is not from hasiba, and the letter waw, zal, ra. Is there any harufi halkiya is in wazara? Do you find any harufi halkiya? No, but what made waw get dropped? Always remember to make sure that there is always going to be a room for exceptions. Okay, huh? I cannot emphasize enough that you always keep some room for exceptions. Okay, so but for the purposes of this session, if I ask you what is the rule number 1 pertaining misal wawi, what will be the answer? Alamatul mudare ainul kalma maksura, waw will be omitted. Ainul kalima lamul kalima harufe halkiya, waw is going to be omitted. Waw is going to be omitted mostly in, is going to be omitted in three clans: Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha. Remember that. Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha. Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha. Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha. If misal wawi comes from Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha, waw gets omitted. Okay? This is going to, there may be exceptions, but this is going to keep things very simple. Are you all getting my point? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So now if I give you this word yada'a or yada'u or yahabu, what will be the answer to that? That why my wow got omitted? Though the wow is not between Ainul Kalima, that is written with kasra, and Alamatul Mudare. Yes, so you are going to say that because my third root letter was harufe halkiya, ain was harufe halkiya. That is why I do not find waw in yahabu. My ainul kalima was harufe halkiya. That is why waw got dropped, right? And both these words, wada'a, yada'u. What is the family? If wada'a, yada'u, give me the family. Wada'a, yada'u. Fataha family. Wahaba, yahabu. What is the family? Fataha family. So is it not just simple and easy to just memorize that, Ba'ab daraba, hasiba, fataha, misal wawi, wow is not going to be found. Wow is going to be omitted, right? In 99% of cases. Right? Easy? And the search scholars have, discussed more about, this Fataha business, but I just want you to just know for now, keep that rule in mind that if second letter or third root letter is harufi halkiya, waw can get omitted. And then there is an exception that you find in Quran where neither the word is from daraba, nor hasiba, nor fataha, but waw got omitted, like in word yazaru. That is a big exception from the basic rule. I hope I made myself clear on that. Okay. Now, the second rule and is again has to do with hasf. Okay. So let's go back and see our table, our Sarf Saghir table. Wa'ada ya'idu. I hope ya'idu is clear to all of you. Now look at wa'adan. Wa'adan. Any problem in word wa'adan? Or is it just declining just as it's supposed to decline or conjugate? Is it's conjugating just like a normal sound fail, right? Normal fail. That is why we are going to call misal, right? Wa'adan, nasran, fathan, right? Nasran, fathan, sam'an, right? It's very simple, plain and easy. But what happened to this wa'adan, wa'idatan? This idatan, does it sound the same as wa'adan? Is it conjugating the same way as wa'adan? No. You're noticing again you're noticing hasf, right? There is again a hasf that you are noticing. So let's learn about this hasf. So the scholars say if the masdar is on fi'lun pattern, what is the pattern? Fi'lun pattern. Here the foul kalima has a kasra and has a waw as the foul kalima, then it is necessary to omit waw and to give the haraka of the waw to ainul kalima and bring ta marbuta at the end. So this word idatun originally was vi'adun, like fi'ilun, right? It was fi'ilun. So what happened? Waw got omitted, right? The first thing was it is necessary to omit waw. So we get rid of waw and the haraka of waw is given to the ainul kalima. So ain got the haraka of waw and as a last step, what do we have? We have ta marbuta. We have ta marbuta added to the another word, right? Is this clear? It is to compensate. Sister Rabia is saying that it is there to compensate. It is taking the place of wow. You can say that, it is replacing that wow that got omitted. Okay. Is this clear to all of you? Easy? Wait. Okay. So, Sister Aisha, do you want me to repeat the process? Start from the start. This word, idatun, idatun was on the pattern of fi'ilun with fa having a kasra, right? Fa was with a kasra. In that case, when misal wawi has a masdar on a pattern fi'alun, in that case waw has to be omitted. It is necessary to omit or drop the waw and to give the haraka of waw to ainul kalima, which in this case is ain. So in word wi'dun, ain got the haraka of the waw that got dropped, and then at the end, in place of that waw, we are bringing ta marbuta after the dal. Okay, the same rule can be applied to masdar of mudare, whose ainul kalima is maftuha, as in the word sa'atun. Sa'atun. So here, just see here, wasi'a yasa'u. Wasi'a yasa'u. What am I seeing in yasa'u? In fail mudare, yasa'u, what is something that is there that is striking? What type of elal are we seeing? In yasa'u, I'm noticing there is hasf of waw, right? Wasi'a yasa'u, there is a hasf of waw. Why this hasf happened? Why is this hasf of waw? Harufe halkiya. Harufe halkiya are there. Yasa'u, yosa'u became yasa'u because one of your letter was a weak letter, right? One of the letter was sorry, one of the letter was a harufe halkiya, right? Ainul kalima. So your ain was the lamul kalima, right? Lamul kalima was harufi halkiya. So therefore, there is a permissibility of omission of waw in here. Okay. So in addition to what you just covered, that from fataha, sami'a, from fataha, daraba, and from hasiba, you will note you are going to see omission of waw. If you generally learn this rule, that there will be an omission of wow, there can be impermissibility of omission of wow even when the wow is in different clans other than these three clans. If in case your harufe halkiya are ainul kalima or lamul kalima, if your second or third letter are the throat letters, if your second letter or second root letter is a throat letter or a third root letter is a throat letter, yeah, there is a permissibility of omission of wow. Are you with me, my dear students? Noted? Okay. So now, in here, what are you seeing? That in here, you're noticing that mudare in here is maftuha. So siatun. Even if the masdar is on fi'lun pattern, siatun is an option. Siatun is an option, and sa'atun is an option as well. When ainul kalima of of the family or the or is of the family is maftuha, in that case you may find that that your ainul kalima of masdar can be either written with kasra after the omission of waw. It can also have a fatha as well. Are you with me? Okay, let me rephrase myself. Okay, let me ask you now based on what we find in Quran. Let me just see if you really understand are with me. Okay, little confusion. Let me just show you something. Okay, so vasa. Okay, here we have alhamdulillah a lot of examples here. Hmm, I have to show you scene. Okay, here. S- Sa'atan. So, what is this word sounding like? It is a master, right? It is a master. Does it spell similar to ilatan? Does it spell similar to ilatan or your word idatan or your word um, something like um, jidatan, something like that, right? What is happening here? What was not, you mainly learned that, there's a kasra, there's a kasra, there's a kasra because the original pattern was fi'lun. Original pattern was fi'lun, right? And the omitted vow gives its haraka to the second letter, the letter after it gets dropped. But in here, the vow, despite having a kasra, gave a fatha to the scene, right? Gave a fatha to the scene. How was it made possible? Why was it possible? The question is how come this is written with a fatha? There's a permissibility in here. Why is this permissible, Shaheen? What allowed it permissible for this word to be written with a fatha? Because your ainul kalima, no, not because of harufi halkiya, because your ainul kalima was maftuha in this family. It was yasa'u. Your ainul kalima was maftuha. That is why there is a permissibility. It is going to be idatun is going to be correct, and adatun will be correct in case your mudare has ainul kalima that is maftuha. Are you with me or are you sleeping? I know it got little tricky. So in case, yeah, so yes, you can say when the masdar is from Sami'a or Fataha, where your Ainul Kalima is written with a Fatha, in that case, there's a permissibility if the masdar is on Fi'lun pattern, Fa with a Kasra, Fa with a Kasra, Fi'lun pattern, it can be the Ainul Kalima can have a Fatha or it can have a Kasra. Okay? So now let's see this one. Okay, how are you with me so far? Now is it clear? Okay, where is my slide? Okay, here. What is a rule number 3? Okay, so now see what happens next. So the next thing that you are going to cover for the second row, what are you seeing here? Wo'ida. Are you noticing any major difference from Duriba? Is it much different, or Nusira or Futiha? There is no change. There is no change. There is one allowance, however. If your if your foul kalima is madmoom, if your foul kalima is madmoom and is in the beginning, it can change into it can change into hamza. It can change into hamza. Are you with me? Did you get this point? For example, let me show you a word from Quran. Okay. There is Surat Al-Mursalat. Uqitat. When I typed in root letters waw, qaf, ta, waw, qaf, ta, it was this word. What was the original form of this word? Uqitat. What was the original form of uqitat? What should have been uqitat, the original? It was wuqitat, right? It was wuqitat. However, what happened to your wow? Wow was at the beginning. right? Waw was in the beginning with the dhamma. So there is a qalb that happened and it got changed into hamza. Is this clear to all of you? That there is a permissibility in that case. So if I asked you, what can be another form for this one? Uida. Can it be uida? Can it be written as uida? Right? There can Hamza replace wow? Yes, it can. Remember that, okay? Hamza can replace wow. Then this one, your ya'idu is going to be yu'adu, right? It's going to be yu'adu, right? It's going to be yu'adu. And then your masdar is the same. And when it comes to your ism maf'ul, do you notice any difference? It's the same. Maw'udun, maf'ulun. Any change that you are finding in here? You are not finding any change, no change. When it comes to wa'idun, when it comes to wa'idun, ism fa'ilun, any change that you are noticing? There is no change. There is no change, right? When it comes to your failul amr, id, is it easy? That it's going to be just, you are noticing the hasf, the same hasf, because it was mahzuf in fail mudare. So obviously it's going to remain omitted in failul amr. And in case of nahi, there's not much change other than the hasf that has happened. Yes, there is a little bit of a change because this family is a family where you will see a change. And then when it comes to ism ala, when it comes to ism ala, it's in ism ala, are you noticing any change? Mi adun, m- there, what is happening here? There is a change of waw into ya. Why so? Why so? We have covered this rule of waw and ya before because the letter before had a kasra, so waw gets changed into ya because it is more compatible with, because ya is yeah, yes, Sister Shamim is absolutely right that because of the compatibility, waw got changed into ya because the letter before had a kasra. Is this clear to all of you? When it comes to maw'adun, maw'idun, maw'adatun, are you noticing anything different? You're not noticing any difference, right? This is pretty much unchanged, right? Okay. So how many of you are with me so far? You got, you think that you have understood it and it's easy. It's not that hard. How many rules have we learned so far? Yes, it is a lot of detail, Aisha, because for you, you're doing it from scratch. You're doing it for the first time. Others may have done it before. So that makes things, different for a beginner. It is different. So for a beginner, I will start from the very start. Okay, always remember your misal that comes from Salasi Mujarrad is going to, it can come from all five clans except for Nasara, except from Nasara. So first of all, that you have to remember that. And both Babi and Yai are going to be from all five clans, and except for Nasara, they can be from any of the clans. Okay, remember that. Number one thing that you must know. Number two, Misal gets its name from the fact that it conjugates like a pretty much like a sound fail, like a sahih fail. Then when you look at its fail madin, you will notice no difference from the fail madin of a regular word. Wa'ada, yamana, or yaisa. Everything looks the same as in regular fail madin. It's just like a fail madin of a regular family. However, when it comes to fail mudare, what is one main rule that you need to learn in misal? One main rule, one major rule that you need to learn in misal is ilal bil hasf. Okay, which one is most important? Ilal bil hasf. The most important rule when it comes to misal is going to be ilal bil hasf, and that hasf is going to apply to misal wawi. It is going to apply to misal wawi. Is this clear to all of you? That when it comes to misal wawi, there is the most important rule for misal wawi is that you must know elal bil hasf, that the waw can get omitted. Then what are the cases where it can get omitted? When waw is between alamatul mudare and ain, that ainul kalima that has a kasra, second root letter that has a kasra, when it is sandwiched between alamatul mudare and a letter, the second letter that is written with a kasra, it gets omitted because it feels very, you know, uncomfortable. It says that, I'm not compatible with kasra. I'm going to go. I'm dropping. Okay. The second thing that you need to know is if ainul kalima, lamul kalima are harufe halkiya, if ain and lam kalima are harufe halkiya, remember the waw may get omitted in fail mudari. Easy. Also, from your basic surf classes, you must know which fail mudare have ainul kalima that has a kasra, that takes a kasra, and you will remember that daraba and hasiba clan are the ones that have second root letter with a kasra. And then after solidifying that main rule, when you come to the second rule, that if your ain kalima or lamul kalima is from haruf halkiya, there is an omission of waw even when ainul kalima has a, there can be an omission of waw even when ainul kalima has a fatha. And the examples of that you are seeing on the slide, like yauda'u became yada'u, yawhabu became yahabu. Everyone with me? Then I taught you that one of my teachers just gave a rule of thumb, that he said that, for the most part, you can say in Misal Wawi, if Misal Wawi is from three clans, Daraba, Hasiba, Fataha, Waw gets omitted. But you have noticed that Waw can get omitted from other clans also if Ain and Lam Kalima are throat letters. Either if a second root letter is a throat letter or third root letter is a throat letter, there can be an omission of Waw. That does not even have to, to be from, the word does not have to be only from Fataha clan. It can happen in other clans as well. Like Wasiya Yasa'u, right? Is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah. Then you learned about a masdar on a pattern of fi'lun. When it comes to fa'alun or fu'ulun, are there any is there anything that I said? No, I did not, right? I did not say a word about them, right? When it comes to pattern um, fu'ulun or pattern fa'alun, I did not say anything. But when it comes to fi'lun pattern, I taught you, I just said that, you will notice there is going to be omission of, there is a necessary omission of waw. For example, if I ask you why waw is still in word was aha, what will be the answer? Who can answer this word for me? Wus'aha. Why is not a hasf here of wow? Why not no rule being applied in on this masdar? Why no rule being applied to this masdar? Because the pattern is the foul kalima in here is not written with kasra, right? No, the foul kalima of this masdar is has a dhamma. And the hasf that we are learning in here has to do with the masdar pattern in where we are noticing the fa has a kasra. Okay? Fa has a kasra. So remember this pattern. I'm going to highlight it for you. Okay? Remember this pattern very well. Okay? So in your test you are asked it why is not a wow not omitted, the answer is, because my masdar is not on fi'lun pattern, right? It is not on fi'lun pattern, right? I hope this is clear to all of you, alhamdulillah. So if I ask you on in the test, why is ainul kalima maftuha? What is the answer? Why is sa'atan with a fatha? Permissibility in the case because The Ainul Kalima of Fail Mudare was Maftuha, right? It is permissible to write Ainul Kalima with Fatha when Fail Mudare has Ainul Kalima Maftuha. I hope I made myself clear on that. Right, my dear students? You got it? Alhamdulillah. Everyone got it? Okay. So now let's see some more examples. Um, if I show you this word from the same root letter, it's going to, I think it's going to make things little easy for everyone to understand. Wasi'un. What is the wazn of this word? Wasi'un. Wasi'un is fa'ilun, right? No, you are noticing it is unchanged, right? Al-musi'i. When I show you this word where there is a beginning meme, there's a beginning meme, and this meme is with Dhamma. Again, this is going to be a some file, and this word is coming from which family? It is an ism file of family 4, right? Mazid. Do you notice any difference between Mawsi'i and Mukhbiri? Al-Mukhbiri, Al-Mawsi'i? Are you noticing any difference? There is no difference. That is why misal is misal. Okay. Again, here, wasiya. Every night you should recite it after every prayer, though I myself, I'm not very religiously doing it, but wasi'a. I'm not reciting, I'm talking about reciting Ayatul Kursi, Sayyidul Ayat. So, what are we seeing here? Wasi'a. Where is this wasi'a coming from? When you look at the word wasi'a, does it seem like Samia? Very good job. Family 1, Samia. Now, I showed you that the present tense form of wasiya is yasa'u. Yasa'u. So, what happened here? Why is waw dropping in word yasa'u, though it is not Fataha clan, it is not Daraba clan, it is not Hasiba clan? The fourth case is, whatever number you have given it to, that your root letter is harufe halkiya. When your second or third root letter is harufe halaki, permissible, there's a permission for omission of waw. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, now sa'atan. Okay, Sa'atiha. So this is basically wasi'atin. Is wasi'atin. What is wasi'atin? What do you think about wasi'atin fa'ilatin? Right? Just the ism file feminine form, right? Easy. Feminine form of ism file. Okay. Wasi'at. Again, just like nasarat or sami'at. Wasi'at, right? No rocket science there. No rocket science. Wasi'atun. Wasi'atun. Feminine form. Lamusi'una. Lamusi'una. What is happening here? Family 4, Mazid. Any change that you're noticing here? There is no change. It's conjugating just like Sahih fail, right? Sa'atin, Sa'atin. You know how this word is getting its um fatha from. I hope this was clear to all of you. Let's look at wajada. It's we are almost okay. Wajada, and you are finding here tajida. Can someone tell me the wajada yajida? What will be the family for this word? It is daraba. Why am I not seeing any wow? Why is ilal bil hasf? You can just say rule number 1, because the wow is between alamatul mudari and the second root, which is maksura or maksur, right? the one that we have just, the first rule that we have covered. Again, in yajid, the same thing is being applied. The same thing is being applied. Wajada, when you look at this misal wawi, wajada, daraba, it looks the same as your regular daraba fail, right? Um, let's see real quick. I know our class time is up, but I just want to make sure that at least we do some examples and understand this, inshallah, a little bit more. Wajadna, just like your nasarna, your wajadtum, nasartum, no change, right? No change, no change, no change. What will be the masdar of this word if I put it in family 4? If I have to put this word in family 4, what will be the spelling of the masdar? Ijadun, right? They will be ijadun, ijadun. And if I'm reading it as ijadun, am I noticing any elal there in that word ijad? Ijad. Am I seeing? Yes, there is elal bil qalb. Elal bil qalb. My wow got changed. No, no, no. My wow got changed into ya. Why so? Why so? Why my wow got changed into ya? Ijadun Islamun, because of the kasra on the letter before, and the kasra and the ya are compatible with each other. So therefore, wow got changed into um, ya. Okay. So inshallah, we will continue to oh, oh no. Sister Faisa, is our time up, right? Okay, so I'm going to, inshallah, continue this topic on Wednesday, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakallah khair, Sister Shamim, for typing that. It was, instead of making it you ja then, we make it e jadan, because it's so easy to say e jadan compared to you, right? So yeah. Take care, everyone.